Now, with draft night upon us, are you sticking with Jayden?
Yes, but let me address some of the anonymous.
Come on, man. I'm holding off all I could over here because okay, go ahead.
I just want to address some of the anonymous.
I thought this might bring you somewhat back into Caleb's corner, right?
This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It makes but look, it's anonymous. Whatever, it's fine. They're scared. They're scared to put their names with it. I get it. Right. They don't like to do that, Skip. But here's
But saying there are many teams that has this thought, have that thought, and you're just one dude. That's not good because that's not right. Is what I'm saying. If you're with one team, you're with one team. Don't be saying many teams to make it just
because that's a lie.
It's a lie.
First of all, it's a damn lie, Skip. Okay. As somebody, I don't want to go too far off, but as somebody that was the #1 overall pick out of Southern California, South Central Los Angeles, gang violence, somebody who's been shot twice, nothing but gang members around me, drug dealers around me, all of that.
You had to go to junior college.
More red flags around me than what you think. From we don't know what type of person he is. Is he going to revert back to this? Does he like to work? Does he this? Stop with all of that. Now they're talking about the man's fingernail polish on his hands.
Right.
Do they even understand the world that we're living in right now? That men across all sports and music and entertainment and political and all, that's what they do. They put fingernail polish. There's individuals that have brand deals with fingernail polish. So the scouts is crazy. Anybody? Okay, so now let's dive into.
It's just it's a lot that has nothing to do with football, and that's what this evaluation is about, and that's what we're talking about right now.
One last thing, crying. You know, I cried like a baby when we lost to Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Okay, when we was the top thing going and we rolled into Notre Dame and we lost, we got shellacked, although I played well. I still cried, okay, like a baby. And I was the #1 overall pick, so that's all foolishness.
I've seen a bunch of cry like babies after games.
Yeah, it happens that way.
Bunch of them.
As far as on the...
And we're going to see some tonight because this draft is such an incredible moment. And we're going to see some kids cry like a baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as far as on the field stuff, I like Jayden Daniels more because I think he's more pro-ready. Okay, and what's pro-ready to me? A guy, when I look at the league, typically on certain down and distances, you are in shotgun because they want to get you back so you can see the defense, the rush is coming, you got room to move around. Jayden Daniels could do both. He could go underneath the center, he can drop back.
Although, can I make a quick point? This man caught footballs from a quarterback who refused to play in the shotgun ever, right? I don't think he just despised it. So you somehow won 3 Super Bowls with Troy Aikman, and I don't think he ever stood in the shotgun.
And that may be
very rare.
Very rare because of what they did from a style standpoint.
He just didn't have to watch the football in the air coming back to him.
In the timing of it. The timing of it. You see, when you take the ball from snap, the timing goes with your feet. It's the feet, the time. Now, if you're taking that ball in shotgun, the timing is in your head. You see what I mean? So after about 3 steps, I can throw that slant.
You have to watch it into your hands without watching the routes.
Yeah, it's a lot that go on with that. So the reason I say this about Jayden, you go all the way back to when he first came out of high school and went to Arizona State. He had one coordinator in Rob Lincolns. Then the next
By the way, AP recruited him.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce recruited him in 2019. When he was a recruiting coordinator, linebacker coach at ASU. Then he had Zach Hill. Then he had Zach Hill again. Then he went to Denbrock at LSU. So he's been in 3 different systems. So he had to adjust, do all of those sort of things.
He did.
Different than a little bit of Caleb. Caleb's only been in the air raid at Oklahoma. So there's an adjustment period, a strong adjustment period that now has to come when he goes to Chicago. They're not going to sit back and 90% of the time be in a gun situation like USC and Oklahoma was. So he's got to learn how to get underneath the center, play action pass, drop back, hit his back foot. So it's a little bit of a bigger learning curve. I like Jayden Daniels' skill set at running the football, not sneak attack running. See, Caleb is more of a sneak attack. He's looking to throw, then he goes. Jayden makes a decision, Lamar Jackson-like, and he's gone. I'm not saying he is Lamar Jackson. I'm saying like. Okay, so when you look at his ability to take the football, put his foot in the ground, retrace, do all sorts of little things, he throws a pretty deep ball. His ball turns around with whistle. I like all the anticipation with him, all of those sort of things. And again, it does not mean that I don't like Caleb.
Right.
I just prefer Jayden Daniels. And another thing I want to say before I pass this thing on, is you've been around this thing 40-something years, Skip, or whatever that number is, covering sports. It's amazing that when you look back in the history of the National Football League, there was once upon a time that black quarterbacks wouldn't even be sniffed and looked at. Your Dallas Cowboys took Danny White instead of Warren Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Now when you look at in the 2000s, since the 2000s, you had Michael Vick as the #1 overall pick, Jamarcus Russell, whatever, he still was the #1 overall pick, Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Kyler Murray, Bryce
now
Young.
it's flipped completely around.
Crazy to see that how far it's come to the point where they say, I love that skill set. Opposed, they didn't like it in the past. The NFL is changing before our eyes a little bit at that position.
It is, and that's a great point.
Right. It is flipped, but I don't think that far. Key. And it's perfect, because you see I got Lamar Jackson's name right there, Jayden Daniels too, and that's a perfect example, because when you talk about the Chicago Bears having the first pick, now both of these are great quarterbacks, and on this day it's always difficult because we're comparing, but both shall have a great day today.
Oh, my goodness.
Both will have a great day today. We were talking earlier before we came on, I remember this day. It's a long time ago, April 24th, 1988. And I remember that when I woke up that morning and we were thinking about the draft, I said, today is the day I'm going to tell my mama she ain't got to work no more. So there are 32 dudes that will walk this floor tonight, and they're thinking that same thought. I'm going to tell my mama. So you're going to see some crying because they watch their mom work 2-3 jobs and come home late, tired. Yeah, and they promised that mom that she's going to not have to work one day, and the day that dream comes true. I can't wait to see it for all of these young men. But when we're talking about where we go with Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, the situation also helps you determine which way to go. Chicago, you just mentioned it, Key. Jayden Daniels is a better pure runner, Now, we used to be in the day, you guys were talking about a Danny White and a Warren Moon, and you look back now and say, wow, how could you make that mistake? But the reality is, everybody was looking for pure pocket passers back then. And Warren Moon, though he was a great pocket passer, he could also move. More like a Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams can be a pocket passer, but he can move. But he don't run like Jayden Daniels. He don't run like Jayden Daniels. He don't run like Justin Fields. He don't run like Lamar Jackson. But everybody has him in the same mind of playing like a Patrick Mahomes. And right now, that is the GOAT. And that is the target. We just had a Justin Fields. To go and bring in a Jayden Daniels is a lot like Justin Fields. We can't do that. But a Patrick Mahomes, we missed one time the first time around. We can't miss it the second time around, is what Chicago Bears are saying right now. I'm taking Caleb Williams because I want a guy that thinks, and I want that thinks pocket first and then play. He only rushed for 121 yards. Jayden Daniels rushed for 130-something yards, 1,130-something yards. So yeah, he can run. 6'4", they say 210 pounds, Jayden Daniels. I'd say he's 6'4", tall, lean, about 200, 205 pounds. Yeah, you can run, but you better be running out of bounds in the National Football League. This is not college. We have much bigger players like the Cam Newtons and the Andrew Lucks. Andrew Lucks, who walked away because he was so tired of getting hit and beat up. What you think they'll do to 6'4", 205 pounds? And I heard, he wants to be the best rushing quarterback. That's great. I would have saved that to after the draft. Because Justin Fields said something like that, and the next thing you know, they were saying, yeah, we're going to have to move on because your primary concern is throwing the football, and you don't come out right before the draft say, now you can't, I don't take it. I want you to rush for a lot of yards, but I want you to throw that ball and throw it all over the field. I'm taking Caleb Williams. Chicago's taking Caleb Williams, and I'm so happy for Chicago for the first time. maybe if they give him time to develop and let him play his game. My concern, Skip, before I give it to you, is what I saw with Justin Fields. And Justin Fields said, man, I'm tired of thinking I just want to play. You know, I don't want you to inundate this young man and put pressure on him right away. And I don't want you to make him lose his confidence in the way he plays the game. That's very important. But I'm taking Caleb Williams first over Jayden Daniels, though I like them both.
Yeah, Skip, like I said to you before, if I'm Chicago, that's okay. I don't mind that. I just like
I understand
Jayden Daniels as a quarterback a little more than Caleb.
Understand.
But Chicago, there's no wrong in them taking Caleb. If they, you know.
And that guy talked early on, it's the anonymous guy, talking about how people don't like. I mean, I thought it was great that, you know, you started hearing Keenan Allen showing up at his workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant on his part, Keenan Allen to be there. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to help him transition. So, Key, that's something we're not talking about. How much having a Keenan Allen will help you transition in the national.
It's not even Keenan Allen. DJ Moore's a veteran too.
Yeah.
So.
Right. But what I'm talking about, Keenan Allen and the way he plays the slot, in the way he understands the position. He understands the position like the quarterback. So now you got your little blinky right away. DJ Moore is more upfield guy. He's going to get me upfield. And if I just have the upfield guy, that's more tougher development on those plays than it is the Keenan Allen plays.
All right, quick point to your black quarterback point. 1977, I'm working out here at the LA Times, and I spent a week in Grambling, Louisiana with a young man named Doug Williams at Grambling because I thought he was going to be the first pick in the draft, going to whoever was going to wind up with the first pick. And I called around to different GMs, and a very prominent GM, whose name I will not say publicly because it would shame him, though he's not with us anymore, told me that Doug Williams does not have the mental capacity to play at our level. And he fell to 17th in the first round, and the rest is Super Bowl history because he became the first black quarterback, of course, to win a Super Bowl. So we have come a long way from that. All right. Now, to your point, it is hypercritical time because that's where we are, because stakes are very high. So we have to pick nits here between these two quarterbacks. I am Caleb all day and all night over Jayden, and I'll tell you why. I watch Jayden a lot, and I do have big concerns about his arm strength. When you talk about the deep ball, I saw him underthrow a bunch of deep balls. I'm not sure he's got a big deep ball arm. I have no doubt about the first level. I have zero doubt about the second level because he's a dart thrower. Very accurate, but he doesn't have the outside the numbers arm strength that Caleb does. Caleb's got a rocket launcher. He has natural, huge arm strength. It's effortless arm strength, a la Mahomes. And I think he can be Mahomesian, though God help us if we throw Mahomes on him early because it's just too much to live up to. But I'm not sure about the strength of Jayden's arm. And to Michael's point, I know he sort of liquided up for the draft for the combine, but I don't think he's going to play at more than 200 pounds because he's just slender built. He's 6'4", 200, but he timed 4.33, so he can flat out fly. It's close to Lamar. I don't think it's quite Lamar's burst, but it's in the ballpark with Lamar. So on straight ahead running, escape a bit. When he gets loose, he really gets loose. Caleb doesn't run like that. Caleb's more in that 4.60 sort of range. But I got to tell you, Caleb Williams is a special, rare talent. And again, it took me, I'm going to call this on myself, it took me a long time to come back around because he left my program that I grew up loving with stinking Lincoln Riley and came out here to your USC Trojans. I just couldn't, it's just hard to come back now.
You left Oklahoma to come to LA too.
I did not. I never left my heart. My heart stayed there, right? I don't root for anybody else. I mean, I went to Vanderbilt, so I root for them. But again, I'm a Sooner born, Sooner bred, and when I die, I will be Sooner dead. And Caleb left us to come to Hollywood, and then he wins the Heisman. Do you know how many Saturday nights I sat on my couch with my wife, Ernestine, watching your USC Trojans? And I'm rooting against Caleb just because I'm rooting against stinking Lincoln. And time after time after time, he pulled off a play where I said, he did it again. He did it again. He is the all-time escape artist. I mean, he doesn't escape to run; he escapes to throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in days past, that would have been a minus against him. But Patrick Mahomes has made that the biggest positive in any, because now it's not, I don't need the guy that can rush for 1,000 yards. I need the guy that can maneuver in this pocket and buy time and then make all of those plays from all the different arm angles. It's like the same thing we're seeing in the NBA, in the WNBA, with what Steph did and Caitlin Clark is carrying it on. Why do you think we're so enamored with her? It's because what we've seen Steph Curry do.
True.
And that's the same thing we're getting here. Is this the next Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
I understand all of that, but this is the National Football League, and you know that's what's going to be the narrative. That's what Chicago thinks they're getting.
I understand.
We missed the first one. We can't miss the second.
Ryan Poles was part of the staff in Kansas City at the time that drafted Patrick Mahomes. So I'm sure he has some flashbacks, so to speak. Here's the issue that you have when you go in and you start comparing the National Football League to college football. In college football, you can run around and you can do all of that at a high clip. Caleb does it as off schedule at a high clip.
He does.
Patrick Mahomes does not do it at a high clip. We make it sound like Patrick Mahomes is doing it at a high clip. He's not doing it at a high clip.
He just does it at crucial times.
He does it at crucial times.
He did it in the Super Bowl.
He stayed making plays, doing those sort of things. Caleb, on the other hand,
I'm with you.
It's like literally all the time.
But last year he had to because the offensive line.
Even the year before he made those type of plays, but it may not be because of him. It may be because of the offensive line. And the skill positions around him may not be getting open. We'll have to wait to see that. But let's not. I don't want to start putting that Patrick Mahomes. You cannot do that to this kid.
Okay, I got it.
And it does. And listen, what we're talking about are two things. We're talking about the gift thereof and the ability to know when to exercise the gift. You see, that's what, and that's what Patrick Mahomes has.
Yes.
Now, first in this evaluation so far, what we're determining is the gift thereof. And this kid has that gift. Now, we'll see at the next level if he knows how and when to exercise that gift, like a Patrick Mahomes, because Lamar Jackson has the gift, and he has to learn still how to win and when to perfectly exercise that gift. That's the whole difference.
All right, so Keyshawn thinks I make too much of this, but the first time I got to actually see Caleb in action he was a true freshman at the University of Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley made him sit for 6 whole games. I'm saying, just play the kid. He's supposed to be special. Let's see special, because Spencer Rattler is not special to me, and he's also in this draft as we speak. And they get to the Red River rivalry in Dallas, as you well know. Stadium split, orange and maroon, and here we go, 50-50. And they get in trouble against Texas. It's a shootout, and in comes the true freshman. And all he does in about half a game is throw for 212 yards, and he runs for 88 more yards, and he scores 3 touchdowns. And let's see the touchdown run first, if we could. Here's when I saw this, I said, well, wait a second. Seriously? You're doing this? And with the football under his arm, he looks pretty fast to me, sort of like Emmitt Smith was. He's faster with the football under his arm, all right? So we saw that. And then next thing I see is a 66-yard touchdown pass. If we could see this one. This is right out of the box. He's a true freshman, never played college football against your arch rival, and he throws it off the wrong foot into the corner. It's a dime. He drops a dime. Again, just wrong foot throw, just stepped up, kaboom, there it was. And I said, that is special. And then a couple of weeks later, here's Kansas, and Kennedy Brooks gets stopped for the first down, and Caleb goes and takes the football away from his running back. I know it happened fast. He goes and takes the ball away from
get
Kennedy
that
Brooks
first.
and says, I'll do it.
That's
if you
Patrick
can't do it, I'll
Mahomes
do it.
stuff.
I'll take the football away from you, and I'm going for the first down because we're in trouble against lowly Kansas. That's what happened.
Y'all was about to lose to Kansas?
Yeah, we're in trouble. Stinking Lincoln.
But
He's overrated,
come on,
as you know. He's overrated, right?
But let's talk about those. Those are the big plays and big moments. And some people are born and bred.
They just are. That's what happened.
And
That's
to
it.
see that early, usually when it's something that early, that means it's in you and it'll
That
be
is
there
correct.
that late.
I am so with you.
And I'm telling you, that stuff you're going to see at the next level. Patrick Mahomes does it. He does it, and the possibility of getting you a Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what y'all say, stop comparing. I ain't gonna stop comparing because ain't nobody out there gonna stop comparing. Everybody's going to do this. This is what it is. Everybody's looking
Fair
for
or
the Patrick
unfair,
Mahomes.
right?
Fair or unfair.
Yeah, okay.
So Caleb, come on, handle this pressure. Do not get up there and say, I don't want this pressure. Yes, you do, because you want all the money they're gonna bring to.
All right, and Keyshawn, I'm going to throw this stat back at you one more time.
They want it all.
This is productivity at the college football level. He accounted for 120 touchdowns with his arm and his legs and only 19 turnovers. That's sensational.
But I'm not drafting somebody #1 overall pick based on statistics.
I understand, but I'm just talking about college
I understand.
productivity.
Wait. What are you drafting him on? What are you drafting him? Wait. You can't just say that.
Can he play football?
But I want to see the statistics from when he played football. I want to see some.
I can give you so many people that got great numbers in college football, and when they came to play at the level you was at,
can you give me so many people that don't have any numbers in college football and then did great in the pros? The answer is no.
Yes,
That's the way
I
you
can.
should take that question.
no, I should not.
You can't. Who did nothing in college and then turned out to be great in the pros?
I will let Skip toss to the next thing, and you and I have a sidebar.
Sidebar.
This will continue in the break.
There is
But up
no
next,
one that's ever done.
How about them Celtics? The Celtics? What happened to the Celtics?
You tell me somebody did poorly in college and turned it up and had great numbers.
So many people. Michael?
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.